Hello, welcome to Bacon's Bits FGI 17 edition. This year's tournament, like many previous ones, are filled with few contenders and mostly pretenders. This year, there are about 5 people who have a legitimate shot at the championship. There's always that chance you could get the one-off winner like Marty, being the most notable, probably winning with his overpowered, overrated 49ers team that didn't even win the Super Bowl that year. All the other champions have come from a very small pool of players. We're going to quickly make our way through the cast of irrelevance. First and foremost, King Irrelevant, Cyrus. After having a magical run where he defeated the behemoth in every sense of the word, Campbell, he has fallen off the cliff like lemmings. Since his big-time win where he thought he retired Campbell, which clearly didn't happen, he's gone 8-13 and 0-2 last year, becoming the first person eliminated from the tournament. He may as well call his boyfriend, Alex G, who he likes to cuddle with, to pick him up early. So you're probably having another early exit. Chris and Mike are first timers in the FGI. Usually doesn't bode well, unless your name is Tony, of course, where you photo memorized every glitch play in the game. You're probably headed for a less than stellar run. These two will probably be able to sit back and enjoy some pizza and football as the tournament marches on without them. Damien will be joining us for a second time. He had a subpar showing in his first performance. That comes with a bit of a surprise, seeing how his father is a perennial contender and touches himself just thinking about playing Madden. Luckily, the apple fell far across the yard from that tree. This year, with a couple more years of maturity, I could see him being competitive, but nowhere near the top half of the standings. Maybe gets a win or two. Then we can go to Steven. He's in the 3rd year of the FGI. Historically has been mediocre at best. This year, we'll probably see some more of the same. He did manage to get a win last year, but that was against quite possibly the worst player in the history of the tournament, Nick. We'll dive more into him in a minute. This year, Steven probably won't last very long, but again, much like Damien, could get a win or two. Now, let's talk about ineptitude. The one and only championship that Nick will win is that of the worst performer. He holds only 2 wins in his 4 tournament appearances, both of which were somehow against performers that were even worse than he is. Nick is second from the bottom all time in points scored and average points scored. To put him as a contender would be the same as saying the Jets are contenders. We all know that ain't true. Now we'll get to talk about the co-founder of the tournament, Bill. Although he has had some decent showings over the last couple of years, he still fails to win that big game that will get him over the hump. Against the 5 contenders in this year's tournament, he has a combined 2-15 all time. Not exactly a recipe for success, since that's 16 tournaments worth of games. Probably another 500 tournament for this schlub. Lastly, he scraped the bottom of the barrel for the Katie brothers. If you want someone to work on your HVAC, you found the duo. However, if you want them to do something worth of note in the FGI, you're probably better off looking somewhere else. These performers are usually about as terrible as their annual prediction videos. Maybe if they spent more time playing and less time cleaning out other people's pipes, they may have some potential to have a good tournament. Probably not. Now on to the top 5 from last year and the FGI 17's actual contenders. First up is last year's dark horse, Matt. Going into the tournament, if you said he had a shot at winning, this would be the only shot you would come up and pop into your head. It looks like all the COVID allowed him to hone his craft, and he devoured the competition, pulling off multiple upsets to get to the finals. Unfortunately, the tried and true Campbell met him there and put an end to his unforgettable run. Will he return to form that he showed last year and prove that it wasn't a fluke? Or will he come crashing back down to earth and end up mired in mediocrity like he has been most of his tournament career? Next, we have the perennial top 3 player, the king of catching the bouquet, but never throwing it, Alex. In his 14 tournament appearances, he has 6. That's right, 6 top 3 finishes, but is yet to actually win the big one. The only other player in tournament history with a second place finish to never win a championship is Matt, and that happened just last year. Alex finished second in the inaugural FGI and has returned numerous times, but never finishes the job. After 17 years of participating, and this being his 15th tournament, will this finally be the year he gets over the hump and gets that trophy? Just last year, after 4 straight years, 2 of which were championships, Justin finished outside of the top 3 for the first time since 2016. He had a rough showing last year and will look to rebound strong. He has a favorite year in and year out and does a lot of practicing and research. Justin is easily the most dedicated individual to the tournament, and he will look to take out the big dogs on his way to another title game. Let's hope that the home field curse that has hung over his head for years doesn't strike again, as he will be hosting the 17th installment of this game. He is yet to win a championship while hosting. Tom went through a rough stretch about 10 years ago. Not only did he fail to finish in the top 3 for 6 straight tournaments, he was upset by Bill and Joey, 2 of the historically worst players this event has ever seen. That being said, he has made a huge comeback. Over the last 8 years, he has produced 6 top 3 finishes, including 1 championship and 3 other finals appearances. You can never count Tom out of a tournament or a game for that matter, and he has ice in his veins and does whatever he needs to win. This will be the first tournament in a decade that he will leave his comfort zone of the FGI arena and make his way to a visiting location. We'll see how he fares when he isn't in his home elements. Last, but certainly not least, and I mean that by any definition of the word, we have Campbell. A man that was upset by Cyrus at the FGIX and nearly retired. Since that tournament 7 years ago, has produced 4 top 3 finishes in 6 tournaments, including his record-setting 4th and 5th title wins. No one stays more cool and calm and collected when the pressure is on. Campbell likes taking the hard road to the title, since 3 of his 5 championships have come from battling back in the loser's bracket. He holds nearly every all-time record in the FGI. Campbell always has to be the odds-on favorite to win it all, except there is one stat that does not bode well for him. So after all that information, here's how I see the top 3 finishing. 3rd place will get taken by Alex. He has the potential to win the whole tournament, and he does every year. But like a shitty pinball machine, the slightest bump gets this man on tilt. That will be his downfall, but not after a well-played tournament. 2nd place will go to Campbell. He has won 2 of the last 3 tournaments, but that is where the problem lies. Only 1 player has ever won back-to-back, and that was Tony. Campbell's tried 4 previous times, but has not been successful. If I used history as a true guide, he should finish 3rd, since that is what has happened after he won in 2009 and 2019. But I think he will make it back to the title game and lose this year's eventual champion, Justin. No one has put more blood, sweat, tears, gaming hours, and Google searches as Justin has. He has been incredibly dangerous for years, and after his lackluster showing like just a tournament ago, he will definitely be motivated to try to win the 3rd annual Sammy. I want to thank all you fuckers for tuning in. You guys can all go fuck yourselves. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, where unfortunately, we won't be watching the Rumble, but we may watch Tom cry as his Niners get defeated by the Rams. Peace out, bitches.